Good morning to one and all present here. I am Ilakya from third year, the coordinator of the Students Forum, LucaFama. Advertising, reviews, reviews, and those calls you get from companies to listen about their new product. All those form a part of marketing. Even the smallest, most minuscule activity of a business director at the customer to increase their trust and engagement with the business and a part of marketing. Now, I would like to call upon our head of the department, Dr. Kavita Menon, to address the gathering and inaugurate the webinar.
Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the Department of Accounting and Finance, D.D.G.D College, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our resource person for the day, Mr. Rumesh Shankar. So it's indeed an honor to have you with us, and it's a pleasure that you have come and we've spared so much of time to address the students. So today's session is the third one in the marketing series, Domains of Marketing, a vital ingredient for business success. Mr. Rumesh Shankar, he will be talking about the impact of COVID-19 on consumer behavior. We hope that you will all have a very learning session, and I hope sir also, he is also very satisfied at the end of the session with our students.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. Moving on, I would like to call upon Naga Nandini, the Secretary of the Students Forum, LucaFama, to introduce in the speaker.
Uh, yeah. So our speaker for the day is Mr. M. Rumesh Kumar, who is a management consultant with 10 years of experiences in strategy, consulting, leadership coaching, organization development, consumer behavior, brand building and promotion, market research, change management, training and development, and PG level academic teaching. He is also a certified organizational development professional from Carton Advanced Management Institute. He has a holistic knowledge in multi-disciplines such as sociology, public administration, psychology, economics, history, world affairs, and geography. He is also an author of a book titled "I am an MBA not from a top business school, but how to get placed like a business school pass out," which was published by the Edupedia Publications. He is also certified OD intervention professional in Middle East HR and Canton Advanced Management Institute. He has conducted many workshops and seminars in various colleges. He is indeed a yoga trainer and a practitioner in mixed martial arts. It's indeed an honor to have you among us, sir. The stage is all yours, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Sir, you can start, sir. You can start.
Audible? Hello.
Sir, now the
Yes?
program is going live. You start, sir.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm really sorry. I am in for the little inconvenience. And yes, guys. Good morning, all. I hope my voice is audible to you, and I'm really sorry for the little inconvenience which happened with respect to my Bluetooth. And so, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You continue.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it happens in the way of the new normal. So still we are in the process of getting used to the new normal. So such things would happen, and same happens even in the field of consumer behavior, where the consumers are trying to try to match their behavior, modify the behavior in a way where their utilities are getting satisfied, and at the same time the marketing team of various companies, they are trying to find new methodologies, new sources to try and find out what's going on in the mind of consumer, what is he thinking about, and will he be retained, or will he switch his loyalty to another firm, another brand. So that's all happening here. So yeah, I first like to before moving on, foremostly I like to express my thanks to the College of D.G.D my thanks to respected Secretary Ashok Kumar Mundra sir, Principal Dr. Santosh Babu sir, and the faculties, all the faculties of Accounting and Finance Department, and the students as well. So I think you would be knowing that the topic for the day is COVID and its impact on consumer behavior. And now I would be sharing my screen, a small PPT. So I think it is visible to you people. Can anyone kindly give me an acknowledgement? Is my screen visible to you people? Yes, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we would be seeing what is the impact that COVID-19 has had on the consumer behavior. And yes, before going into the topic, I like to keep the basics clear here. And consumer behavior is a part of marketing. And again, like marketing, it is not just the process of just selling a particular product or service to a set of clients or customers, whereas it is a process that precedes and proceeds production. And this particular, I would say that this is the most comprehensive and dynamic definition for the term marketing. Here, like, what is this? Precedes. How do it precede production? The modern marketing, it even precedes the stage of production. That is, even before a factory is being set up, the market intelligence team of the particular brand, of the particular company, they go, they study the market, they do various kind of analysis, they find who are their potential customers. They, what they do is they do market segmentation, and they select the segment which is going to be the target segment, and they try to find what is the what is that the people or the probable consumers of that segment, what do they like, what they don't like, what is their probable needs in the future. They analyze everything and they get a clear picture on that, and they also try to gauge it with their offerings, what they have to offer, and their strengths, their limitations, and then they do further studies, and then a particular formula or particular strategy is being developed, which is being handed over to the research and development team, and from the research and development team it moves on to other departments such as production, etc., and they develop the product. And after the and even during the course of development, the branding part is being done, and also the advertising comes into the play, and everything gets into the play. And Finally, yeah, the sales happens. And now look at this term, succeeds production. So it continues even after the production. So what happens after the production? Yes, the advertising and branding, it keeps going on. And the sales, yes, even that happens. And my dear friends, marketing continues even after sales. And it is post sales service. And I like to again here bring a particular concept called value discipline, propounded by Tracy. It says that there are three domains which can be core for any organization, of which customer intimacy is one. In customer intimacy, uh, organizations such as Google, they always stay in touch with the consumers. They try to know what is the pulse of the customers. They like to know what is the likes, dislikes. They are always on the run out to find what is the need, what may be the future need of the customers, and they keep collecting the data, and the data has been processed and they deliver. It's not just about the data has to it has to be followed up by a matching delivery. Only then you can retain the customers and also win your customers. So there are various things which even proceeds or succeeds production. And where does consumer behavior come into the picture in this particular part?
Sir, excuse me.
And consumer, no, yeah.
Sir, the slide is not visible, sir. Can you present it?
Oh, 1 second, ma'am. Is it visible now, ma'am?
No, sir.
Uh, can you please tell me what is visible on the screen now?
Sir, you are visible to our screen.
Oh, how about now, ma'am? Is the PPT, I mean, my screen visible?
No, sir.
Can anyone, hello? Hello?
No, sir.
Now, ma'am, how about now?
No, sir. We haven't received and we are not able to view the PowerPoint presentation. Yes, sir. Just a moment. Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible now, ma'am? Uh, Hello? Hello?
Sir, it is visible now. You continue, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, unforeseen things happens, and the same happened with respect to the COVID too. But the consumers, they didn't get stunned. They were in a position to get going, and the same happened with the corporates and companies and governments too. They too didn't get stunned. They somehow managed to get back, and now we can see how things are going on. So same as happened here. I'm really sorry, really sorry to the host and to the participants as well. Now, yeah. So yes, this is the thing which I was saying. Marketing is a process which, it is a process that precedes and proceeds production, and consumer behavior is a consumer behavior is a vital and ongoing part of this process. And before this small interruption which occurred, we was I was posing a question to you people that where will consumer behavior study come in the process of marketing? Can anyone say? Participants, where will consumer behavior get into the picture? Will the study of consumer behavior happen before the production or after the production, or when? Will it come here or will it come here? For few companies, what they do is they keep it over here, and few companies they keep it over here, but the sensible ones, they ensure that it's an ongoing process. It is an ongoing part and process. So now you will be asking, what is this consumer behavior all about? And am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Audible. Sir, share your PPT screen, sir. You are sharing the whole screen. Just show your PPT screen, sir.
Okay. Is it fine now, ma'am?
So PPT we are not able to see, sir. You have shared the screen, but the PPT is not visible.
Okay.
PPT is
Oh,
not visible, sir. Ah. Sir, you open the PPT file
uh,
and share.
can I send the PPT to you, ma'am? Like where you could, can you share it instead of me? Maybe will that work?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, you have shared your screen. Just
Just give me a moment.
open PPT, sir. Ah.
Yeah, it's open, ma'am. Is it visible now? Are my slides visible now?
Sir, you are visible. You just go to your slide and open, sir. Go to PowerPoint presentation and open.
Is the PPT now visible, ma'am?
No, sir.
Not to worry, ma'am. I'll just mail you the PPT. Maybe you could share it, and I'll just give the voice. I think that would work instead of the time being. Just one second.
Sir, excuse me. Sir, Rumesh, sir. Rumesh, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Sir, you just go to PPT where you have saved. Just open it, sir. You are already sharing the screen. Just go to the PPT or the drive
Okay.
where you have saved it, or where you have saved it. Just go there and just open the PPT, sir. It would be viewable.
Okay. Is my screen now visible, ma'am? As you said, I'm opening the file.
Sir, you can minimize this screen and go to PPT where you have saved.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, ma'am. Why is it happening, sir?
Sir, you continue, sir. You continue.
Just 1 second, ma'am. I'm just mailing you the PPT. Maybe you could share it on my behalf.
Okay, sir. Sir, through mail you present, sir. Through mail you are sending the file, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Through mail itself you just present the screen. The mail which you are sending is viewable, sir. Just open the file and present it, sir.
The the mail is visible, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So you are about to send the file, no, sir? The same file you just open now and start presenting, sir.
Just 1 second. Um,
Just open the file, sir, which you are going to
yes,
send.
yes, 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 yes. Uh, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you just open the file.
Yeah, yeah, happening. Is it visible now? Hello? Can anyone please acknowledge?
Sir, the attachments we are able to see, just download the file, sir.
Yeah, it is. It's done.
Yes, sir.
Is it now visible now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, so
Yes, sir. Now it is clearly visible.
a lot of disturbances and a lot of disruptions during this particular webinar. So we had a tough time, and I'm sure you would have, the viewers would have had a much tough time in seeing all these things. So just imagine how the marketing team and the PR public relations team of the corporates, they would have undergone. There would have been chaos. I'm telling you, absolute chaos, absolute directionless view, everything. But still, they managed, and the world is running. So, friends, that is a vital and practical lesson that everyone needs to carry in their life. Whatever happens, we need to get going. And yeah, so as I was saying, consumer behavior is a very vital one, and it is an ongoing process. The smart firms, the smart companies, they ensure that the consumer behavior is a one which is an ongoing process of their marketing function. So now let's see, what is this consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is the study of the actions and decision, and as well as the process of the people who purchase goods and services, and it finds about the people who buy their particular product or service. And what does it try to find? It tries to find about their attitudes, their needs, the belief, the purchasing patterns and behaviors. By purchasing pattern, what we try to mean here is also the quantum, that is how much they buy and how frequently they buy, and do they again expect certain flexible options. By flexible options, I here mean uh, we have emis, we have certain discounts, and there are certain various options. So is my probable customer, or the customer which I have won, is he looking out, or is she looking out for these things? These, everything is being studied under consumer behavior. And this is an ongoing process, as I said, and companies are investing a lot in consumer behavior. Now, how the consumer behavior goes, the practicality, that we will be dealing at the end of the session. Now, let's get into the session of how this COVID, both wave one and wave two, how it has impacted the consumers' behavior across the globe and with respect to India. So I have taken few consumer behavior of people can be spoken with respect to industries, with respect to products, with respect to many things. But I have just handpicked few things which would fit into this time, and we would be discussing about it. And when we are discussing about those handpicked items or domains, we would be also trying to see how consumers have behaved in the developed nations and how consumers have behaved with respect to India. So the first one is, yes, consumers have embraced online shopping. And I'm sure everyone who's now listening to this particular webinar too would have undergone the same. And that's what happened across the world. And with respect to the developed nations, in developed nations, online shopping is it's almost a norm, which was even widely prevalent even before the onset of COVID. But COVID ensured that this behavior went steep. Developed nations saw a steep increase in online shopping. And with respect to India, Yes, in India, generally, online shopping, yes, we resort to Amazon, Flipkart, and also youngsters like you, the students, you would be going to Mintra and such portals to check clothing, accessories, and as well as the gadgets, especially. But the first wave of corona forced the non-rural consumers to even shop grocery items. Firms such as Big Basket, their existence in India even before COVID, no doubt about that. But how many of us were buying our groceries through Big Basket and such firms? Post March 2020, several Indians belonging to the towns and cities, they got their groceries through online. And what happened during that process is people experienced comfort, people experienced a lot of facilities. You can just sit in your house, you need not have to risk yourself outside, but you'll be having all the items delivered at your doorstep. And people were amazed by that comfort as well as the safety. So this safety and this comfort, it delighted them. And what happened was, during the second wave, people were even comfortable to buy staples and fresh produces, that is perishable products. By groceries here, I mean, I refer to the rice, grains, edible oil, such things, which are not quickly perishable. But during the second wave, people were even comfortable to buy fruits, vegetables, easily perishable products too. So that was a comparison that was observed by a lot of research firms such as Deloitte, Accenture, and McKinsey. And there was also an impact on brand loyalty brought by online shopping. 75% of consumers in US, they tried different stores, brands during the pandemic. For instance, if you are a person who's buying Allen Solly or Van Heusen regularly, the person was prompted to check other brands as well. Because what happens generally in the regular brick and mortar showroom is, not in India, we don't find much multi-brand showrooms. Or even if we have such, the collections would be an issue, or the price range, the availability, not just in India, even across the globe. So you need to physically walk, get into the showroom, get out, and you need to again move to another showroom, and that showroom may or may not be in the same locality. So a lot of time is being spent there. While if you take online, everything is there available in the window. All that you need to do is move your fingers. You need not have to physically move from one showroom to another. Here it's all about you need to move your fingers and start seeing, start viewing. So what happened was, people, they even switched the loyalty to brands. Not just, I'm talking about clothing, across all products. And this was something which the marketing folks wouldn't have expected. And this particular phenomena was reported in this particular website. Whatever I'm saying, it's not just my observation. They are facts and figures. If you go to this particular source, you can find information which details about this particular observation. And the online shopping has brought a lot of focus on influencers. So who are they? These influencers. I'm sure you would have seen a lot of people in Instagram, even in YouTube, that they would be, having their own channels own followers, and they would be posting a series of stories, a series of videos about their experience with respect to certain products, about a new gadget which was bought, or about a new iron box which they bought, and they would be indirectly trying to influence the viewers to purchase that particular product. So these people are called social media influencers. And in the West, by West I refer to the Europe and America, North America, and as well as the South America. There, people were more influenced by people who are global figures, who have a global following for their particular channels and videos. But in India, there were three kinds of influencers. The first one were the same global influencers who were influencing the consumers in the West. And these people, they continue to influence Indians who regularly bought premium and luxury brands. If you take clothing, I would say Ralph Lauren and Armani, they come under the luxury brands. The same with respect to automobile. Yeah, you have Mercedes, Jaguar, Audi, these things coming under the luxury segment of automobiles. So buyers of this particular category, consumers of this particular segment, they were influenced by the global influencers. And there is another segment in India, the upper middle class of tier 1 and tier 2 cities. They too were influenced they were influenced by local influences. That is, what is local influences? People who are present in India but who speak about global products. You have a person based in Chennai or Pune or in Ahmedabad, but he would be reviewing about the luxury brands of be it Christian Dior or other Armani products, which are globally recognized products. So he or she would be giving reviews about such globally known products. So they are called as global influencers. And the rest of India, they were influenced by the local influences. We would have seen many, even actor or actress from teleserials, and even people who are part of the local cinema film industry. They too have their own YouTube channels, Instagram followers. So the rest of India was influenced by these local influences. And we could clearly see that the consumer behavior in online shopping was heavily influenced by these influencers. And another observation which was found during the COVID with respect to the consumers' behavior is the consumers, they gave a lot of importance to health and fitness. In again, as I said, we would be seeing both the developed nations and with respect to India. And in developed nations, online doctor consultation, fitness classes, and other things, they saw a spike. And in India, during the first wave, people based in cities, they embraced it. And I'm sure you would be knowing about Practo and other such platforms which ensure that you can get consultation from specialists by being seated at your house. But there was an interesting phenomena observed with respect to India. During the second wave, what happened was the medical practitioners and the tier 2 and below, tier 2, tier 3 and below hospitals, They didn't resort to platforms such as Practo or other such apps, medical consultation apps. Rather, they asked their patients to come and consult them via WhatsApp video call. So, what does this show? This shows that I just wanted to pose a question to the audience. What does this show? What can you infer about the mindset of Indian consumers? Anyone? Participants? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Someone has unmuted.
Sir.
Yes, participants, can you say what does this point?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
can anyone, participants, are you there? Or have you people kept your windows open, stopped the video, and just enjoying the good weather of Chennai which is present at the moment? I hope not.
Sir, sir, participants will only chat, sir. They will not be able to speak.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, okay. I thought
Ah.
it's like a WhatsApp. I'm sorry. So yes, but I don't like to take the risk of going to the chat because I'm fearing whether again I'll lose the screen sharing. So, but still, let me take the risk. Mm, yes, people, you can share in your in the chat window as well. I hope now my screen sharing is not disrupted. So yes, friends, what does this point? What does this convey to you? It simply conveys that no matter what's the circumstances, Indians we are sensitive towards cost factor. The cost of a WhatsApp video call is is much, or I would say it's nearly zero cost both for the service giver and the service receiver. In this case, the service giver is the doctor and service receiver is the patient. So other than the data that's been spent for a WhatsApp video call, there is almost near zero amount of cost incurred for both the parties. And the doctors, what how they got the payment, that was through Paytm or through Google Pay. So they had the consultation and they requested the patients to make the payment via Google Pay or Paytm. So that's how we Indians we innovated. We buy, we didn't go through these portals. By going through these portals, the service givers, that is the doctors, they need to pay certain amount of fees to these portals. So that's how the medicos of tier 2 and below hospitals, they circumvented this, and during the second wave they resorted to this. So this is another consumer behavior which was observed in India. And so we saw that with respect to health and fitness, people they were giving more importance to health and fitness. And in developed nations, people, they were buying, uh, they resorted to buy uh, products which were for medical and fitness purpose. And with respect to India, again, it was high. People bought a lot of products related to health and fitness. But there is another observation here. Though they bought um, things with respect to health and fitness, they were little skeptical about buying medicines, syrups, injections through online. And this was observed even in metropolitan cities. I'm talking about the delivery part. For consultation, yes, Indians, we resorted to the online to get consultation for health and fitness. But for buying the vital items related to health and fitness, vital, see, here there are such a, I can make a classification, vital and supplementary. Vital is the medicines, syrups, injections. Supplementaries are those which you call as Dabur Chawanprash or honey or other immunity boosting things, Complan, Horlicks. Those things can be called as supplementary. So for supplementary, Indians didn't hesitate to order via online. But with respect to medicines and syrups, injections, they were little skeptical about getting it through online delivery. And now comes another uh, unique part to the online shopping experience. Though we have a lot of facilities with respect to even buying the health and fitness related ones, buying fashion related ones, or even buying or automobile or buying a cycle through online, humans always get satisfied when they have a physical connect with the product which they are going to buy. They always had the inner need to feel it, to touch it, to sense it through all the five senses, I mean. So that feature was somewhere they felt it was missing in the online experience. And this was observed across the globe. And to fill that particular gap, something is coming up. It's called phygital. What is phygital? Physical plus digital. It's a combination of both. Through the digital mode, you get the experience of the physical aura. And one particular example here, okay, I'll just give an example here to say what is this phygital. Participants, can you please see this particular picture? Here, you can find an young lady. She's in a store, and here it's very evident that it is a garment store. And in this garment store, instead of physically going and taking a particular cloth, so this, what you see in the screen, this is the desired cloth which she wants to try. But she's not physically trying it. She's not going to the trial room and wearing it. But there is an option where that particular product can be selected. And if the person is standing in front of the screen, it gives a visual of how the particular person would appear if the person is wearing the clothes. And can you find here, there are different other options. This is the one that the particular person is trying at the moment. Now, can you find other, at the bottom, can you find a olive green color clothing. So the person can just choose the items like how you choose it on your mobile, but the screen will give, it will give the image of how it would look on you. So this is a small example of digital, and this is not the only mode. Here you have something called Amazon Go. What is this Amazon Go? Amazon Go is like at another departmental store which is nearby, like Nilgiris or like other retail chain, but you will not be having any person to assist you there. Rather, it's all about technology. There wouldn't be a cashier there wouldn't be a person to help you out, while it is all the technology which would be guiding you. You would be getting guidance through your mobile phone, and you will be getting guidance. You will have the digital displays here and there, touch screens here and there, through which you can make your enquiries, you can make even the payments. So it's totally a digital experience, but you also get the feel of visiting to a store. And many brands have adopted it. Yes, Zara is an, I think everyone would be knowing. It comes under, it's not a luxury, but it's a premium brand of clothing brand. So even they have come up with something like this. And you also have a lot of augmented reality based stores where you can just take the particular device, have a look, and you can even see how you would feel. And there are certain holiday destinations which are planning to come up with this concept. For instance, let's assume that I am a travel service provider and I offer a package to Switzerland. So what I would typically do is I would give a brochure or I would send a mail to you and I would say, ma'am, sir, these are the places that you would be visiting in our tour package. But in digital, I would be giving you a AV, I'm sorry, AR device, augmented reality device. It would be more like a binocular, little larger than a binocular. You can have it in your eyes, and you can see the places where you would be visiting if you choose my travel package. And it's not like a video, but it will be more of a 3D format where you would feel that as if you are there in that particular place. So you would feel that you are in middle of Alps mountains in Switzerland. You're going through the countryside of Switzerland. So that's how the feel that you get, and that's the feel that you give to the consumers too. So this is all about digital. I request people to kindly, read, do some homework with respect to digital. It would be really amazing. Now, let's see what was the consumer's behavior with respect to the food. In India or across the globe, people, they chose products which were more healthy. And there was a realization that, yes, health is the real wealth. And with respect to the developed nations, there were a high demand for health supplements, micronutrients, immunity boosters, and such things. And people, they even bought a lot of fitness equipment such as dumbbells or the other ones such as the equipments which would help you to stay fit, treadmills. and such gadgets. Yes, even gadgets to fitness tracking gadgets such as Fitbit, they saw a spike. They saw a spike in sales, they saw a spike in demand as well. Now let's come to India. In India, yes, Indians too realize that health is wealth, but unlike the West, which bought who bought a lot of health supplements, protein powders, immunity boosters, etc. Indians, we resorted to more natural foods. There was a demand for paneer, chickpeas, eggs, lean meat, and another interesting feature here is we went back to our roots. Siddha, Ayurveda, Unani, we went back to our roots, and you would have found many even toothpastes, even fairness creams claiming to be they have the Ved Shakti in them. They have the ingredients of Siddha in them. Such things. It clearly shows that those organizations, those brands have realized that the consumers have started to go back to the roots, started to go back to the ancient treasure of India. So they are just trying to embrace it. Even the multinational companies who are functioning in India, you would have seen the ads in television saying that um, um, they are developing products with Ayurvedic ingredients in it. You would have very well watched it over the television. And yes, brands such as Dabur is one which is in existence for several decades, and Dabur's Chawanprash is almost every household's item which is frequently bought, and Tata Sampann as well. So these brands, they witnessed a lot of demand. And friends, it was not just during the lockdown, this is even continuing. People continue to focus on things which would keep the immunity levels up, and even if they are getting infected, they realized that if the immunity is strong, if the health is strong, they can recover easily. And they are also seeking ways to de-stress. Generally, let's go back to the post that is pre-COVID times. If one wants to relax during the free time during weekend, generally we go to the malls, we go to parks, restaurants, and we go for holidays, outing with family, friends, etc. But during the lockdown, and even during the relaxed lockdown. Even now we are in a stage of lockdown, but few relaxations, or I would say with few restrictions. So during this particular time, people, they really they were skeptical about going anywhere. So they they resorted to few means which helped them to de-stress themselves. And one such thing was OTT platforms. Another one was online games. So OTT platforms such as Disney Hotstar, Amazon Prime, Netflix. Yes, I'm sure many would have watched Family Man season 2, or other series which were released in Netflix or Amazon, right? And yes, even the movies. Earlier, we used to check, okay, when is the movie getting released and in which theater can we go and view it. But now it's all about in which platform it's going to get released? Is it going to get released in Hotstar, or is it going to get released in Netflix? And they are not just small budget films or Hollywood movies. I'm talking about Bollywood, Tollywood, Hollywood movies, and even movies of leading stars. Even Surya's movie was released, Nayandara's movie was released in OTT platform. So people have now started to embrace the OTT platforms, and you could just do a small Google search on the profit of these OTT platforms during post 2020, post March 2020. You could see that the percentages has just skyrocketed like anything, and that clearly shows the change in the consumer's behavior. Earlier people, they felt that it's only for the elite, or it's only for the premium category of people. It's they who watch using OTT, etc., or the youngsters. Usually they think that okay, it's only the youngsters who, or the college goers who watch shows, who watch movies using OTT. But now it's even people of the middle age, old age, now they are resorting to OTT platforms. While this being the one, there is also something which is potentially harmful for the society. Earlier, people, they used to go out, hang out in malls, parks, and such things. But during the, I'm talking about the complete lockdown. When there was a complete lockdown, people, few people, they even logged into few harmful networking sites and apps where you could potentially get into bad company, and you would become victim of cyber harassment, cyber bullying, etc. So this was also observed across the globe. And next, yes, the consumers were more focused towards the hygiene factor. You could ask yourself a question: how frequently did we buy Dettol's, antiseptic lotions such as Dettol, Savlon, or even sanitizers you take for the matter? Honestly, I'll say that I've never ever used, I've never ever touched a hand sanitizer spray or gel before before March 2020. I've just seen few of my friends using it, but I've never ever touched. But now I carry a hand sanitizer wherever I go. So that's the change it has brought with respect to everyone. There is acute increase, there was an acute increase for the acute demand for antiseptic lotions, antiseptic uh, liquids, and even floor cleaners and such things. And it is even on the rise. People who used to mop their floor, once in 3 days, now they're doing it on daily basis. And people who do it on daily basis, they are doing twice a day. So that's the reason why you could just again go and find out the profit, the increase in profit made by these firms. That would say the story behind it. Yes, this is something which this is a gadget with which we without which we can't live. We have made our lives like that. I'm talking about mobile phones. Yes, COVID influenced people like anything, where mobile phone became their best companion, and they spent most of the time in mobile phones. And it's not just about spending time, it's not just about leisure or comfort, but for few it became an essential. As I said earlier, see, Here we could I could rightly prove that it became an essential. See, for doctors and for patients, it became an essential. Patients, they consulted the doctor through WhatsApp video call, and doctors, they gave the consultation through WhatsApp video call. And you could find a busy surgeon or a busy consultant, a cardiologist. He wouldn't have time to go through his smartphone. But COVID, it made him or her to take mobile phone in order to give the consultation. So that's how it just you can see the manifestations which were brought by COVID. So entire globe witnessed an increase in sale of mobile phones, especially smartphones. And with respect to India, students they formed the major chunk of major chunk of demand drivers, right from a student who's studying in class 1 to a PhD scholar. Everyone had to use a mobile phone. Yes, you can also attend a class, online class through laptop, but they felt a mobile phone is more convenient. You can carry it anywhere, and it's more friendly, and it's cost effective too. You can get a smartphone for even 6,000, 7,000, etc. And another observation here, it was the first time that in India that mobile phone sales went high in online in comparison to retail showroom. Generally, we go to Sangeeta Mobiles, or what is it, Chennai Mobiles, Purvika, such things, Universal, to buy mobile phones. Because, as I said, we love to touch, we love to feel the product. But such provisions were not available during lockdown. And even during the relaxation, people were hesitant to go out due to the fear of infection. So this made people to buy mobile phones through online. And see, this is a particular article which figured in News 18. And according to IDC is an enterprise which tracks the consumer behavior, the market statistics with respect to mobile phones. So, according to IDC stats, the online phone sales overtook the offline market in India, and it happened during the second wave of COVID. So, this is another phenomenal example of how consumers' behavior have been altered by COVID. And now we will see a contrast between the developed nations and South Asia. Across all the products, how did they buy? With respect to the developed nations and South Asia, during the first wave, people were focusing only on the essentials. People didn't spend a lot on clothing, accessories. They clearly had something in their mind, that is what is essential and what is not essential, and they were spending only on the essentials such as food, safety, and related things. And the other ones, non-essentials, it include everything which doesn't come under the category of food, safety, and medicine and education, these things. So anything which doesn't fit into these four domains, they come under the non-essentials. So the non-essentials were literally, it was hitting level zero. The demand was hitting level zero during the first wave. But During the after the first wave, there was a stark difference between the developed nations and South Asia. The developed nations, they resorted to something called revenge shopping. What is this revenge shopping? Are you going to go and take revenge on someone? No, it's the revenge that you're going to take on your own savings. Here, during the first wave, people, they didn't spend on the non-essentials. So when they don't spend, what happens? The amount is retained with them. When the amount is retained with them, what happens? Your savings rate increases. Your saving quantum, it increases. Generally, if say 10,000 or 5,000 is left with me at the end of my month till 2019, in 2020 I didn't spend at all. So what happens is, instead of 5,000 or 10,000, 15,000 was left in my hand, and that piled up till November or say October 2020. So I had a big amount in my hand, and the Westerners, they wanted to take revenge on it. So they went on a shopping spree, I would say. Furnitures, even the home decors, mattress, everything. I'm not just talking about clothing, I'm not talking about accessories, even the mattress, even the paint of their house, they just bought everything with that particular amount which got saved, and they were spending like anything. So more you spend, what happens? The more the demand and more the economy revives. But this here, like in economics, it doesn't always mean that when people are spending high, the economy is going to go high. There is a lot of dynamics here which I don't want to get into as of now, but for the moment, when there is a high demand, there will be high supply, and the economy would go well. So that is what is happening with respect to the West. And Forbes has listed this. Again, it's a fact, it's not just my observation. But with respect to India, what has happened? The West, they went on revenge shopping. But in India, what happened? Especially in South Asia, people, they had more expectations on flexible payment methods. They expected even say, generally, yeah, when you go and buy a mobile phone or a TV or a refrigerator nowadays, if you go to what is it, Reliance Digital or Tata Chroma, Vivek's, Vasant & Co, they give EMI offers, right? So Indians, we started to expect the same facilities from online service providers too. And according to a particular research firm called Mintel is a leading organization who's into market research. And according to their research, 4 in 5 consumers expected brands to offer flexible payments for even groceries. Forget about refrigerator, mobile phone, or other products. 4 in 5, that is 80%. 80% of the consumers, they expressed that it would be nice, it would be wonderful if the brands offer flexible payments for groceries. So it again shows that we Indians, though the amount has piled up in savings, we don't go for such shopping sprees. Rather, we are more rational. We try to keep our household savings high, which would help us in the future. And we always try to expect for cost efficiency. And various researchers, various reports says that demand has increased for local brands. A person in Argentina, he started to give more importance to product which was produced in Argentina. A person in Taiwan, he started to give more importance to product which is produced in Taiwan. Such phenomena was observed across the globe. And with respect to India, there were a series of schemes such as Atmanirbhar, which was launched in order to give a push for the domestic brands. But here, there is a catch, my dear friends. You just Google search about this demand for local brands during COVID. You would find Accenture, Deloitte, McKinsey, PwC, BCG, Boston Consulting Group. Everyone are releasing a report saying that the demand for local brands has gone up, but not necessarily that the research has to point to the reality. This is something I call the attention of all the participants here. This is very important. I'm linking this with consumer behavior too. What is consumer behavior? You study the behavior of consumers, but can you literally, is it practical to study the behavior of each and every consumer? No, it's not possible. You take a sample size and you study that, and it is not necessary that that sample size, the behavior exhibited by that sample size, has to be replicated and resonated by the entire sample. Am I right? There are chances for error, or there are even chances for deviation. So you need to verify your finding with ground reality. So what is the ground reality? It is the sale, it is the profits. So here we can verify. See, there is a small illustration. If really Indians have given more importance to local products, domestic products, then we can compare the sales of Medimix. Medimix is a product of Cholail. It has its head office in Annanagar in Chennai, and Unilever. I hope a Unilever is UK or Swiss based. I'm not too sure, but it's a Europe based company, and their products are Lux, Dow, etc. So we can just make a comparison. If this finding is true, that demand for local brands has gone up, if it is true, then the sales of Medimix, what you need to do is take the sales figure before March 2020 and compare it with post 2020. If there is a drastic increase there, followed by a drastic decrease here, that is, again you need to take the sales figures of these brands in pre that is before March 2020 and post March 2020, and if you compare, if there is an increase here and if there is a decrease here, then we can validate that this observation is true, and we need time for it. It's too early to come to a conclusion. We need to wait for the figures being released by these firms, and we need to compare it. We need to compare across products and across industries as well. Now, why I am saying this to you now is the same would happen, the same you need to have it in mind when you become a consumer behavior professional in future. You should not convince the board just based on certain preemptive observations. You need to wait, you need to get the data right, and you need to validate it. Because see, investment in any particular thing, changing a particular product, it is not an easy game. It requires a lot of energy, amount, crores of money and time. Now, finally, let's go to the automobile sector. In the developed nations, there were automobiles. They saw rapid production, and there was a high preference for electric vehicles, smart vehicles, and vehicles which use clean technology. And with respect to India, in June 2021, according to SIAM, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, there was a high increase in the sales. But again, this figure is because of the base year. Now I'll tell you, friends, it's very simple. How will you compare the increase in sales? Only if you, how will you find the sales figure or even your percentage? If the score is 50, you assume the percentage would be 100 if it is on 50. But if 50 is on 100, then it is 50%. But if the 50 is on 200, it is just 25%. And if the 50 is on 1000, it varies, right? The same. You compare comment about a year's sale percentage only in comparison to the previous year's sale. So what happened here was, in June 2020, the sales of automobile was absolutely near zero. And because yes, it was the first lockdown, people were totally panicked, everything. And during June 2021, there was some sales. So if you compare it to the base year, that the base year is 2021. So you would get a figure as if, oh wow, it's 160% sales, 160%, 110% sale. You can say about it, but you need to get to the real fact. How many particular automobiles, how many individual automobiles were sold? You need to get to the absolute number and compare. If you compare like that, it is very, very low. And that was reported in this article in New Indian Express. Though the percentage seems to be high, the real volume is very less. Friends, again, why am I saying these things is because you should not get carried away merely by the percentages, by certain, even in the previous slide. See, I said something about the preemptive observations. You should not get carried away by these things. You should always look at the absolute figure. You need to focus on the data, and only then you need to make decisions. And this is something which is my personal observation and study. In my personal, whatever till this slide, whatever I presented, it's all based on secondary research publications of various consulting firms and media, etc. This slide and the next one, I'm going to share my experience. Something which I found is, though Indians, they even bought groceries, apples, everything through online, people, they never bought these things online. What is it? Gold, silver, platinum, jewels and products. I'm not talking about jewelry, even products too. Indians, a very, very small, minuscule percentage of them, they bought these things through online. Indians, even now, they consider investment in gold to be safe. So they would prefer to go to the showroom and buy. And the next one which I observed is, Indians have tightened their purses for non-essential items and have increased their savings and investments. So this increase in savings and investments will be beneficial for our economy in the longer run. And this is something which is another small observation. This is an ongoing consumer behavior study which I'm doing, and as a part of it, I just posted a poll in LinkedIn, in my LinkedIn account. So the question is very simple. You can just read it by yourself. If you're going to buy a sofa for your house at 53,000, which one will you choose? Will you choose the one which is very stylish, but its lifespan is just 4 to 5 years? Will you choose that particular product, or will you choose a product which looks average, but its lifespan is 10 to 12 years? Which one will you choose? This was the question which I posed. And 91 votes were polled as of yesterday, 23 midnight 1:30. So this data was captured by 1:30 last night. And can you see it? 75% of the people, they said that they would like to buy a product with average looks but with high lifespan. So doesn't it match with whatever observations which were brought in the preceding slides? And even here, Indians, we always look for things which comes at the longer run. We are not people who are focused on the at the moment or the short term. We focus on the long term, and we always expect things which comes for the future. We give a lot of importance to the savings part. And yes, it's just 91, very minuscule, but it is just an indication. And again, like I would be doing several other studies, such as focused group discussions, focused interviews, etc., observations, etc. But this is just a tiny part of that study, which is to be done by for my client who's based in Pune. So this is something which I would like to show from my personal experience. And with this, we come to the end of the session. And yes, if anyone has any doubts, you may please throw it to me. I'm bound to answer them.
Now, moving to the question and answer session, I request the students to raise their doubts and questions. Guys, you can type it out your questions in the comment section.
Yes. Any questions? It can be related to the points which I shared, or it can be even things which are not related to the points which I shared. If you have any questions related to consumer behavior, you can very well raise it. And I'm again really sorry for the inconvenience which was caused by me with respect to the slide screen sharing and etc.
Sir, Adarsh has asked disadvantages of digital.
The advantages of digital. It was raised by
Disadvantages.
Mr. Akash, right?
Adarsh, sir.
Disadvantages. Okay. Yeah. So the name of the person is Akash, right?
Adarsh.
Adarsh. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Adarsh. I really appreciate you for making a very good question on digital. See, again, look at this. I think you can see the screen. Do you think that this particular screen cost will equal the cost of a trial room? No, it's huge. One which is built with a lot of animations, with a lot of other features, and I even really do not know technically what are those features that are used to build such a such a screen, such a platform, or such a technical device. It has a lot of investment. So first one disadvantage is the cost factor. It puts a lot of cost pressure on the manufacturer. So if a cost is is incurred on the manufacturer, what will the manufacturer do? He will just translate to the consumer. So you will have to end up paying for that too. So the first one is the cost, and second one, is it feasible for any of our a moderate or small service provider to have such feature? Let's assume there are several stores near our localities. Can they afford to have this? That's another question. Even if they have this, see, it's not just a one-time investment, my dear friends. These things, they need regular service, they need regular updation, etc., maintenance. So again, the cost comes into the picture. And the next feature, next disadvantage of digital is not everything can be replaced by digital. Okay, let's take perfume. How will you test a perfume's smell without physically experiencing it? Yeah, they're saying that nowadays that even for smell there are certain technologies coming, but I doubt whether it's being used full fledgedly across the market. So how can we do that? It's still a challenge, right? So it is I mean, there are several disadvantages, and above all, the major disadvantage is privacy, data privacy. What you buy, what you don't like, what is your spending capacity, everything is getting registered. Now again, that's a disputable thing, whether, okay, it depends upon individual to individual. If the individual is comfortable sharing his data, okay, then it's not a breach of data privacy. But what if a person is not ready to share it? And again, the data, if it is just retained by that particular company, it's okay. But what if the data is being sold by that company to another person? It's an issue, right? It's a matter of privacy here. And see, data regarding a normal product like clothing, something like that, it's okay. But data regarding very personal products, such as the medicines, and what medicine you have, and what for which illness you have, if those things are being shared, I think it may lead to a lot of issues. I hope I have answered to your question, Mr. Adarsh.
Sir, Pooja has asked, what role does
Any other
number
questions, please?
crunching play in when an organization strengthens? Pooja has asked, what role does number crunching
What?
play in when an organization stress about the behavior of its customers?
Your voice is breaking. Ilakya, right?
Can you hear,
Miss
sir?
Ilakya, your voice is breaking. Now, can you just type it in the window?
Now, sir?
I just heard the term data crunching something. Your voice was breaking like anything. Can yourself or can anyone else, can you chat window?
Excuse me, sir. Any questions?
Ma'am, I guess there are some questions, ma'am.
Okay, Nandini, you take over.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, sir is there? Yes, ma'am. So I'll finish off with the
So,
word of thanks, ma'am.
sir has left the meet, it seems. Yeah, he is coming. Yeah. நான் போகணும். நீங்க எதா இருந்தாலும் மீட்ல வாங்க அவ்வளவுதான். அதான் சொல்லிட்டீங்களே எல்லார்கிட்டயும்.
Sir, now can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
So, Vignesh Narayana says, is it possible today a shift of Indian customers preferring ordering medicine injections only then online than in person? If yes, how long will it take?
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
I'm really sorry. I
Yeah,
think
Nandini, you
I
take
got
over.
logged out. What's the last thing that you?
Yeah, Nandini, you take over.
To give a vote of thanks on behalf of the AI department.
Yeah, so good afternoon to one and all present here. It is indeed a privilege to present a vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to start off with thanking our esteemed speaker, Mr. M. Rumesh Shankar, a leadership consultant and a management consultant who spared some time from his busy schedule for providing us with intriguing details on the COVID-19 and its impact on consumer behavior. Your valuable insights will surely aid us in making apt decisions. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu, and our secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Mundra, who supported us in organizing this event. And I would like to also thank our head of the department, Dr. Kavita Menon, and our co-faculties, Dr. Arimeru Satyavama and Professor Sneha Karthikeyan ma'am, and also to other faculties who were guiding us in organizing this event. I would even thank our designing team. Lastly, thank you to all the participants who participated in this session. Uh, thank, thank you for everyone to being a part of this event.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think we'll be having network issues. Has sir left again? SB ma'am, sir has left.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
again.
I'll end the broadcast now.
Okay, I think we can wind up. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you so much for attending. Hope you had a good learning session.